The seventh element on the periodic table is known as nitrogen. This is Norris Teaches Science. With me, Mr. Norris, another physical science edition video. Today we're going to talk about physical versus chemical, either properties or changes. So by the end of this video, you should be able to say to yourself, I can identify and explain physical and chemical properties or changes of matter. But what are physical properties? They are any property or characteristic of a material that can be absorbed or measured without changing the composition. Means we're not going to change what it is, we're just going to kind of look at it. What does it have? So examples are like viscosity, which is a liquid's resistance to flow. Things with high viscosity or high resistance are like oil, syrup, honey. Their appearance, what does it look like? Color, shape, the hardness from like the Mohs hardness scale for minerals. Conductivity, can they conduct electricity? Can they not? Can they conduct heat? Can they not? Are they malleable? Can they be shaped with a hammer? Even though you're hammering it, you're not changing the composition, you're just changing what it looks like. Melting point, when does it melt? When does it boil? Those are physical properties because you're not changing what the substance is, you're just dealing with what it looks like. A physical change is when you make a change to the material that does not change the composition of the substance. For instance, when you boil water, it's still water. It's just changing between being a liquid to being a gas. It's still water though. It's still H2O. Same thing with melting. If you have a block of ice, which is just solid H2O, and it melts, it's just liquid H2O now. It's still H2O. It's still water. Dissolving. If you dissolve sugar into water, have you guys ever tasted sugar water? It still tastes like sugar because the sugar is still there. It's just physical appearance has changed. What it looks like changed. Or shredding paper. If you shred paper, you just have little bits of paper now. They're just in a different shape. It's all about changing what it looks like, not what it is when it comes to a physical change. Chemical properties are characteristics that a substance will undergo a certain chemical change. Some common chemical properties you probably deal with when you talk about physical science are flammability, the ability for a material to burn, combustibility, the ability for something to explode. If you didn't get it, ability, ility is in the word, so you know that it means an ability to do something. And reactivity is how readily a substance will chemically combine with another. You can't really just look at an object and know its chemical properties. You won't know its chemical properties until it undergoes a chemical change. And a chemical change is a change of one substance into a new and different substance. We're not changing the appearance anymore. We are changing what the substance is. And some signs that a chemical change is occurring is that there's a color change. There's a production of a gas, like fizzing or bubbling. The formation of a precipitate. Precipitates are insoluble solids when two liquids are combined. And a release of energy, either like heat, or there's an explosion, or even with like glow sticks. Glow sticks are a good example of a chemical change. When you snap them, the two liquids combine, and the light is the chemical reaction happening, so a chemical change is going to occur. You can't get those two chemicals back separate because they're now something new. Now, when you do have these changes, we have to abide by the law of conservation of matter, which states matter is not created, nor is it destroyed. That means matter cannot be created, matter cannot be destroyed, but it can change. We can change the matter. In layman's terms, the amount of matter you start with in a reaction is the amount of matter you're going to end with in the reaction. They just can be in different shapes or substances. And speaking of matter, there are four states of matter. Solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. A solid state of matter has a definite shape, definite volume. Like this brick over here, we know its shape, we know its volume. If we take a brick off of one table and place it on another table, it's still going to have its same shape. And we can figure out the volume of it by length times width times height. Liquids, they have a definite volume. We can take its volume. The thing is, we have indefinite shape. If you have two different shaped glasses and you pour water into one, the water is going to take the shape of that glass. If you take that water and you pour it into the other shaped glass, it's going to take the shape of that. They take the shape of the containers they're in. Gases, they have indefinite shape. They're just like liquids. They take the shape of whatever they're being confined in. They also have indefinite volume. That means as you change its shape, you can change its volume. And plasma, this is matter made of positive and negative charged particles. It's most of the universe. You're thinking about like lightning, or you're thinking of, say, the sun. And this is a little bit about physical and chemical properties and changes of materials, of matter. Hope you learned something today. And this is Mr. Norris, and he is signing out for this video.